I do want to talk about, obviously, one of the last times we were on, we were talking about the slew of just like utter like price gouging, swindling, and all of the newfangled ways that corporations um,
Mm,
twist the knife, gouge you, raise
yeah.
the, price of groceries, price of anything. And the Prospect did a fantastic series on this. And now we have the gutting of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which I was not clear. I thought they fired 1,500 of the 1,700. Did they only fire 200?
No, no, no. So there's been this ongoing effort to basically shut down effectively the CFPB.
Yeah.
And there was a judge's ruling that stopped them from doing it in February.
Mhm.
And that ruling went under appeal. And the appeal said, all right, you can do some firing as long as you maintain the statutory obligations of the agency. And Russ Vought, who is the acting director of the CFPB right now, he's the head of the Office of Management and Budget,
Yeah.
but he's also that. He saw that appeal ruling and said, "Oh, okay, this lets us fire everybody." So then a week ago, he fired 1,500 people and said, "Oh yeah, we can do all the statutory stuff with just the other 200 who are left." The judge in the original case, the district court judge, said, "This is ridiculous. I'm putting that on hold." So all those people are kind of in limbo right now.
Ugh.
But then separately, there are ongoing efforts to basically, uh, defang consumer protection across the government, not just at CFPB. So what we learned yesterday is that the Consumer Protection Branch of the Justice Department, which is a set of litigators who prosecute things like elder fraud, things like
Mhm.
service member fraud, things like faulty medical devices or the opioid crisis.
Yeah, the
That
pharmaceutical prescription drugs.
Yeah.
And,
So
even what was it?
that
You mentioned, like,
branch,
a credit card that was just, like, lies. It
yeah,
was
like a
just like
fake credit
a
card.
fake credit card.
Um, yeah, so that consumer protection branch of the Justice Department is going to be shut down in September. That's what they were told. These attorneys were told yesterday. So, and this is, part of a pattern, right? I mean, you see this with crypto regulations to protect, crypto bros, which maybe don't need protection. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you think, but the SEC has basically been told, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop prosecuting crypto. CFPB, even if it's intact, even if it has people, they're dropping cases left and right, including the case you talked about against a company that was offering these credit cards that were only for purchases in their very meager online store. And also there was a huge membership fee on these credit cards. So it was just a way to extract money. That's one of 13 cases that was active when the CFPB was handed over from the Biden to the Trump administration that have been basically shut down. They dropped
Wow.
the cases. And there are many other examples of enforcement just being gutted, just being dropped. And what this means is it's open season on the American consumer, right? I mean, every scammer out there that can read a paper knows that the Trump administration is out of the business of consumer protection right now.
Yes.
So that puts all of us at risk.
I mean, it's terrifying. Yeah, I mean, I'm, like, so scared. Yeah, I mean, I'm someone who's, like, every time I talk to my mom, I'm like, "Okay, so did you click on that thing?" Like, she's always
Yeah,
like, "I
don't
had
do that.
someone told me to get a bunch of Best Buy gift cards." I'm like, "No, don't buy
Mm-mm.
Best Buy gift cards for someone," just like and it obviously, the fish rots from the head down, and it really is about Donald Trump himself enriching and his,
Right. I mean, this is the guy
and his
that built a
administration.
fake university when he was
Exactly.
before he got into politics. He's a guy who scams his own contractors, doesn't pay them, stiffs them,
I think he still
scams
owes
his own
money probably
lawyers.
for his rallies and his
Yeah.
events.
Yeah. So, I mean, certainly there is that aspect to it. And also it's the people who are around him now.
Yeah.
He has a meme coin.
Yeah.
Donald Trump does. He has a crypto company. He is, someone who's in with other people in the crypto world. So,
Oh, Sam
this
Bankman-Fried
is
is
about
getting
making the
out.
world safe for them. What's that?
I think Sam Bankman-Fried is getting out.
We'll see. He gave money to Democrats, though, so maybe not.
Oh, true. I mean, this is the other thing is that, like, I think Democrats are also, I mean, especially when it comes to crypto,
Oh, yeah.
they're like, well, we have to get in, we have to get the money because it's, you
Well,
got Gallegos, like,
I think there were 32 races where the crypto industry gave, large sums of money in 2024, and they won every one of those races except for one, and that was Elizabeth Warren. There's certainly a sense in which the crypto industry has bought Congress, and now this year and next is when they get their rewards, and those bills are moving, and that's happening.
you know what? Interesting. This is just an aside, but speaking of Elizabeth Warren, who is kind of coming back around in terms of like doing some great media hits and just like schooling people live on television. I remember when she was running in 2020, and there was an interview with a couple of Wall Street guys, and they were like, oh, we'd much rather have Donald Trump than Elizabeth Warren. Like, we are so, I mean, business is so terrified of a modicum of regulation, that they would
Well,
throw
careful
down the
what you wish
fashion.
for, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
We
I
got
mean,
the
now with
economy
the
melting down right now. Maybe it would have been okay to have some meager regulations on the industry rather than the tariff nightmare that we're going through and the empty store shelves that are likely to come in the next few weeks.
100%. It's like what Biden did was very, very, it was just a small inroads. But I guess, I don't know. Lastly, before I let you go,
Mhm.
it hasn't even been 100 days of this administration. I can't even think about 2026 because I can't even think about the next 100 days. It is an unconstitutional power grab. We're in wild times,
Yeah.
unelected people running our government, defunding everything, firing everybody. How do we bounce back? Like, this is a huge question, but like, how do we make sure that the Democratic Party or any opposition party really doesn't just fight for reforms, but actually kind of the whole enchilada, like the whole thing in terms of, real clampdowns on anti-competitive behavior or defrauding of consumers, um, to say nothing of paying their fucking fair share of taxes. I feel like, I mean, where do you come
Yeah.
at this sort of like when we ever, if Democrats ever get
Right.
back in power, are we just going to have to meet in the middle like the Alyssa Slotkins of the world wants and, the Bill Maher's of the world?
Yeah. Do you know what oligarch means? I don't know what oligarch
Ugh.
means, right? So, I mean, look, I think the lesson that I've learned in the first few months of this administration is that the fault line in American politics on the left right now is whether you give a crap enough to fight or not.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even necessarily fall along ideological lines. It's just, the willingness to break with the sort of politeness and tradition, and actually try to fight back against what's happening to the country. And it's clear to me that when you see these crowds, I don't know if you were in LA for the Bernie and AOC event, but that was massive.
Huge.
You see these protests that have no real leader to speak of, and yet they're getting millions of people into the streets on a weekly basis. People are very hungry for any semblance of leadership that is going to stand up and say no to the
Mhm.
power grab that's going on. And I don't think that the Alyssa Slotkins of the world quite get that. But it's coming for them because I think what's going to happen next year is that a lot of these races, including primaries, are going to be decided on the basis of whether you're willing to take a risk for democracy or not.
Yep.
And, what that means going forward. I mean, obviously, these ideological kind of soul of the party battles are going to play out over the next several years. But I think the people who are retreating to this idea of, oh, we have to pick our battles, let's just talk about the price of eggs instead of people being abducted and thrown into a hole. Those people are going to, people are going to have long memories about those folks and the decisions that they're making at this critical time.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.